All right, well, transitioning here, the president firing back earlier this week on Twitter, taking on MSNBC and its host for fueling fake news. Well, House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi had this to say about his comments on MSNBC host Mika Brzezinski. Take a listen.
I think it's so blatantly sexist. I don't even know that there's a question about it. But sad to say, I am still the highest ranking woman. I thought that was all going to be resolved in November. Instead, we have a person in the White House who not only doesn't happen to be a woman, but happens to disrespect women.
Okay, but is that what the president was trying to do? Here to debate is attorney and former vice chair of diversity outreach for the National Diversity Coalition for Trump, Brunel Donald Shea, and Democratic pollster and author of America in the Age of Trump, Jessica Tarlov. Good morning to both of you. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having us, Abby.
Good morning.
All right, so let me just read you.
And God bless America.
God bless you as well, and happy 4th of July weekend.
Yeah,
let me
happy
start.
4th.
Amen.
Let me start, Brunel, with reading some of these headlines for you. This is The Atlantic says the logic of Trump's sexist attacks. The Huffington Post, Trump launches another sexist tweet and newest attack on Morning Joe hosts. And this is the Trump, just to remind people, this is actually from yesterday. This is Crazy Joe Scarborough and Dumb as Rocks Mika are not bad people, but their low-rated show is dominated by their NBC bosses. Too bad. Brunel, to all of this sexism, this argument, this attack on him, what I would ask you is he just trying to defend himself? Because it seems like he would say the same about man or woman.
I believe that the president is simply trying to defend himself. And honestly, I believe that he deals with men and women with the same energy. I mean, he calls Bernie Sanders crazy, Hillary crooked. He called Ted Cruz Lion Ted. He called, Marco, little Marco. I mean, that's our president. But what the problem is that you have media that should be focusing on edifying the nation by telling us the information we need to know, filling us in on the facts, and instead they're using their emotions and politics as a platform as opposed to doing what journalists are supposed to do, and that's to inform the people.
All right, Jessica, I know you have some thoughts
here. So he's pushing back on that.
So many thoughts on this 4th of July weekend. I totally disagree. And I think that while, yes, this is our president who does lobby or throw these insults out on everybody, there are only women who he talks about ever using the words blood. Right. I mean, he said about Megyn Kelly that she had blood coming out of her nose or her wherever. Mika Brzezinski had blood leaking down her face. We've seen pictures from that weekend. She did not have blood leaking down her face. He has a fascination with it when he talks about women. He's made a number of sexist comments. We know when he went after Carly Fiorina, said, look at that face. That was blatantly sexist. And I find it really disturbing, especially to hear from women, that we can't have that discussion about feelings that the President of the United States of America has about women.
What about comments to him, though, Jessica? I have to, because he's the President of the United States, and I don't know if we've seen comments made about a president among our media,
like we have today.
Pretty hard against Barack Obama. Jessica, you have seen those clips from Mika, for example, and I'm not saying, I'm not defending her, defending him. I'm just saying you hear what she has said about him, calling him a goon, calling him mentally ill, dementia, talking about the size of his hands. This is not just some random guy. This is someone who is the president of our United States. So across the board,
I don't agree with that, and I've spoken about that before on the news channel, and I've said I don't think it was appropriate. I think that it hurts the level of national discourse. I also think that because Mika and Joe actually fueled this campaign. As they said, we used to be friends with this person. They had him on there. Right. They were defending him, and they went after Hillary Clinton really hard, and it certainly hurt her campaign. When you think about the audience that MSNBC has, who's watching there might have been a lot of moderate Democrats who were out there, or left-leaning Democrats who said, no, I'm going with Bernie Sanders, and then maybe they voted Jill Stein. Maybe they didn't show up to vote. So listen, Mika and Joe have caused a lot of damage themselves, but it doesn't make sexist attacks and using the office of the presidency at this low level appropriate.
Well, Brunel, you are a Democrat.
What I would say is that you don't, yes,
Brunel,
I am a Democrat, and I am a Democrat, and when you live in a glass house, you don't throw stones. Oh, yes, I'm a Democrat who voted for Donald J. Trump. I voted for the change agent, the outsider, yes. And so what I would say is this, you don't make evil statements. The things that they're doing and saying about the president are sinister. They are beneath the dignity of our nation. And so my thing is this, you don't, excuse me, I'm sorry, I let you talk. Yep. You don't use your platform where you're supposed to be informing the public, letting us know the facts, keeping track of this White House and this government for your own political, emotional, joy. You're supposed to be letting us know what's going on, and they're not doing that. They are attacking this president. They are attacking his supporters because we voted for him. This is a democracy. He's got 3 years and 6 months to go. Get used to it. Get your popcorn and drinks ready. It's going to be a ride.
All right, just a quickly last word because we got to go.
Oh, well, I'm just wondering if you do watch these news shows. Obviously, these are opinion hosts, and they will put their opinion out there. But there certainly is news reporting that they're doing. They're talking about the story with Russia.
But they got to be classy.
Yeah, but does the president of the United States of America have to be classy? And I would say if you look at his Twitter feed,
he's a class act.
Ladies, we're going to have to leave it here because we're cut with time. But our audience watching this is a great debate we're having. So send us what you think. What do you think about all of this? Send it to friends@foxnews.com. For now, Donald Che and Jessica Tarlov, great to have you with us this morning.
Happy 4th of July.
God bless you.
As
Thanks
well.
for having us. Happy 4th of July.
All right, coming up, it is a debate as old as time. Who is smarter, men or women? Well, we have got a new answer that is coming up. Plus, President Trump is vowing to stick with social media despite all of that media backlash. And the great one, Mark Levin, is here live to react next hour.